Next week is the release for the very first set for Star Wars in the Funko Pop digital collection. We also have some possible leaks for series we might see this year. So let's go to get this one started. What's poppin' YouTube? Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time on this channel and you like this video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for future content. Today's video, we're going to be talking about Funko Pop digital collectibles. So, we're actually going to be starting off this video by talking about the next coming set, which is Star Wars, dropping next Tuesday. Let's take a look at the set and talk about it a little bit. So, as you guys see, it is a drop exclusive, Series 1, and it will be releasing on March 26th, which is next Tuesday. Honestly, I was so hyped for the set, but let me tell you, I'm not really that excited about it. Right here, you have the grill of the set. In the back, you have some of the cards, which I love the cards. And then you have two styles of packs. Standards, $9.99 with 5 cards, 35,000 available. Premiums, $29.99, 17 cards, 30,000 available. That is a lot of packs. It makes sense. It is Star Wars. But the redeemables, however, are not that exciting. So I don't think this is going to sell out, but I might be wrong. Here are the redeemables. Let's take a closer look at them. Start off this set with the Grail, Luke Skywalker, limited to 1,980 pieces. That is a lot for a Grail. That's basically more than double what the usual is. So honestly, it's a cool pop, but I think we've seen something similar before. Here's the NFT. I really like the NFT cards for this set. I'm actually debating just collecting the cards, and that's actually tempting enough for me to buy some packs. I'll decide later. Here's our first legendary C-3PO, limited to 3,000 pieces. Honestly, not that great of a pop. There's better C-3PO pops out there. Here's the NFT though. I really do like this card. It's pretty cool. Then we have our next one, Darth Vader. Who doesn't love Vader? Come on. But the pop itself, once again, pretty underwhelming. Here's the NFT though. The NFT is just fantastic for this one. Probably my favorite card in this entire set. It's just super cool. One of the most iconic moments of Star Wars. Then we have Emperor Palpatine up next. Almost the same as the Hot Topic one we have. But check out that card. Once again, such an amazing card. I just want all the cards in this set. I don't know if I'll get them before or after redemption and all that. And then we have Han Solo. This one might be the only redeemable I actually like in the set. It's a little different than what actually exists already. But look at the card once again. It's so detailed. I love all the cards in the set. I feel like they did better with the cards than the actual physical pops in this Star Wars Series 1. Then we have our royalty, which is Princess Leia. And this one's limited to 3,300 pieces. It glows in the dark, but it's only the saber in the background. Luke Skywalker's saber that glows. Honestly, the card's cool once again, but the set, very underwhelming. So if I'm being completely honest, I don't even know if I'm going to be buying any packs for the Star Wars set. The only thing kind of tempting me at this point is because I actually like the cards of this collection. I don't really like the redeemables. I feel like it is a very underwhelming set. It's Star Wars, and there's so many characters that have yet to be made in Funko form. And to be honest, even the characters that already have pops, they could have done some different molds, even better than what already exists. And it's just very disappointing to see what they did come up with. I'm kind of curious if it's Droppp, Funko, or just Disney, because the Mickey and Friends set could have been a lot better as well. And another thing is, I love my Freddy Funkos in the NFT sets, and they didn't have one in Mickey and Friends, and now they didn't have one for Star Wars, which is weird because I know there are Disney Freddys out there and Star Wars Freddys, so I'm not sure what exactly is the reason we can't get Freddys in these sets. I'm kind of assuming it is a whole Disney license issue, but those are some reasons. I'm not really excited about the set. Could have been so much better, so much more exciting, but overall, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to rip open any packs or not. I was ready to go heavy, but at this point, I'm probably going to go very light if I decide to get some packs. As you guys can see in the thumbnail and title of this video, I'm actually going to be talking about 10 Funko Pop sets I think would be great to see in the Funko Pop digital world, whether it's a new series or a continuation of a series that already exists. But before we do that, I actually want to talk about some of the lists that we have of leaks that we might see in the future for the Funko NFTs. The first list over here is actually one set that we already have, which was Star Trek Next Generation. Then we have Dungeons and Dragons Series 2, Batman 85th Anniversary Heroes, Disney Afternoon, 2024 April Fool. So April is right around the corner. We'll find out if that does end up being a release. But I'm actually very excited for Disney Afternoon. As for the rest of this list, I'm really not that excited about. But you know what? The redeemables may be cool, and it might tempt me to open up some packs. So stay tuned for that. But overall, on this list, I'm definitely most excited for Disney Afternoon. And then over here, up next, we have horror. So we have Universal Monsters, Warner Brothers Horror Series 2, and then we have Alien. I'm definitely excited for Warner Brothers Horror Series 2. I definitely enjoyed Series 1. Very awesome. Redeemables looked fantastic in hand. Universal Monsters can definitely be a really cool set once again. And Alien is another one that I think the redeemables could also be really cool depending on what they come out with. So overall, I think this page is some really great sets. Next, we have Daria, Batman Villains, and My Little Pony Series 2. This page is kind of weird because I don't know. I've never watched Daria. I don't know how popular that will be. I personally don't think it'll do that well. Then we have My Little Pony Series 2. Now, I know My Little Pony Series 1 does not get a lot of love, but I think it's not one of the worst sets they've done. There's been a lot more I'd say are not as good as My Little Pony Series 1 because I actually think those redeemables were pretty cool. I know they're not everyone's cup of tea, but overall, they were all really great designs, and honestly, they were all different characters that we have not seen in Funko form. So I did like that set overall. Then Batman Villains, I know there's a lot that already exists in Funko form, so it all depends on how they make that set, what they come out with, but overall, this page is not that great. But the next one, here it is. We have Cartoon Network, Scooby-Doo Series 2, Rick and Morty. So Rick and Morty was one that we've seen as a reveal a long time ago and never released. Maybe we'll finally see it very soon. Cartoon Network is actually one of the 10 sets that I'll be talking about today that I think Funko should make. So I'm excited for that. Scooby-Doo Series 2 is another one that I had on my list today for 10 sets I want to see Funko and Droppp make. So I think this page has to be the best one, the most superior of these leaks. I'm really hoping these are accurate just because I really want the Cartoon Network and Scooby-Doo Series 2 as well as Disney Afternoon. I think those three sets are the ones I'm most excited for from all these reveals. All right, so now let's go and talk about 10 sets I'd love to see as future releases from Funko and Droppp. Just throwing this out there, none of these are confirmed or anything. It's just me talking and hoping Funko and Droppp is watching, and maybe they'll consider making some of these after they watch the video. So it's all just for fun, honestly. But before we start, I want to mention how this is all going to work. I'm going to name a series, whether it's a new one or a continuation of one that already exists. Then I'll name redeemables I think would make great choices for the set. And then at the end, I'll do like a little snippet showing what I would choose as the grail, legendaries, and of course the royalty of the set. Now, if you've been on this channel before, I'm hoping you already know what my very first choice would be. And as you guys see on my sweatshirt, SpongeBob SquarePants. This year is the 25th anniversary in May, so I'm hoping maybe this April or May we might see a SpongeBob set. I originally was really hoping to see a Doodle Bob as a Pop Digital exclusive. However, he has been confirmed as a future common pop in the next wave of SpongeBob Pop, so I'll get him off the list. Here's what I do have for the SpongeBob set. Starting things off, we have SpongeBob as the Quickster, Squidward as Captain Magma, Patrick as Elastic Waistband, Sandy as Miss Appear, and then of course I also added Man Ray, Dirty Bubble, and then the royalty pop I would choose Freddy Funko as Mermaid Man. Now I don't know if you guys remember that episode where they all have that superpowers with Barnacle Boy and Mermaid Man. I think Barnacle Boy is a villain in that episode. I think he was Barnacle Man, which would also make a great feature pop, but that's my very first option I have. I made a second option in case. I would go with the Flying Dutchman, which I love a glow in the dark, Man Ray again, Dirty Bubble again, then I have Larry the Lobster, Pearl, Plankton, which is crazy he does not have a standalone pop yet, and then I'd go with the royalty being Freddy Funko as Patchy the Pirate. So those are two options, and honestly, they could go with so much more. There's so many characters that have yet to be made as Funko Pops from SpongeBob, and there's so many iconic moments in the show that they honestly cannot go wrong with anything. The second set I have on this list hits home for nostalgia. As a 90s kid, I love Nickelodeon, and Nickelodeon Series 3 is the next set I'd choose. By the way, my favorite Freddy Funko until this day from all the NFT sets remains to be Freddy, the Nickelodeon Series 1. Freddy Funko holding the Nickelodeon blimp all slimed up. It is just so iconic and so nostalgic. I absolutely love him. But let's go ahead and talk about what I have on this list. I originally had Jimmy Neutron as well as Otto from Rocket Power, but I removed them because both of those have common pops that were just revealed, and I'm definitely very excited for them. But here's what I do have on my list. I have Dark Danny from Danny Phantom. Then I have Goddard, Jimmy Neutron's dog, which I think he'd look amazing as a pop. Then I have Crimson Chin. I also have Filbert. This one was a card in Series 1, but he does not have any physical pops. Then I have Dill Pickles. I also have Darwin. And the royalty, I would go with Freddy Funko as Timmy Turner. Now, if they don't do a Freddy Funko as Patchy the Pirate in a SpongeBob set, that would be my next choice. So if I'm being completely honest right now, I think this next one might be my personal favorite on this entire list. If Funko and Droppp were to make any of these happen, I'd pick this one. Yes, even more than SpongeBob, because honestly, I do think SpongeBob will get its own set eventually. And if they make any redeemables, even outside of the ones I did mention, I'd be happy. I feel like there's so much they could do with it, and I feel like they'd definitely make it fun, no matter what. But we already got a Disney set, and I still like that set more than most people did. Then we also have Star Wars, which I already mentioned was pretty underwhelming. We have yet to get a Marvel set as well as a Pixar set. Now the next one is Pixar. It has a very special place in my heart, and I noticed there's a lot of big characters missing in Funko Pop form. This specific set, I'd go with Pixar villains, and here's what I came up with. I got Chicken Suit Al from Toy Story 2. Then I have Randall from Monsters, Inc. We already have him from Monsters University, but we're missing him from Monsters, Inc. Then I have Hopper from A Bug's Life. I also have Charles Muntz from Up, which is crazy. We have so many Carls and Ellies, but no Charles Muntz. And then I have Chef Skinner from Ratatouille. And then I also have Chick Hicks from Cars. And then I would go with the royalty being a Freddy Funko, which we don't know if we'll get that because Disney and Star Wars both didn't have one, but I do Freddy Funko as Syndrome. Now, if for any reason they don't do a Freddy Funko, I'd love to see Sid from Toy Story, or maybe a new mold of Syndrome, because they could definitely do a nicer mold than the one that already exists. Number 4 on the list is actually one that I mentioned earlier in the video. It's part of the leaked list that I had in my list originally, and it is Cartoon Network. So we've actually had some Cartoon Network drops in the past. We have Steven Universe, Powerpuff Girls, and Adventure Time. However, for this specific layout, I have different characters from Cartoon Network shows. Starting this list off, I have Grim from the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. I also have Ed, and Eddie. I want to see all 3 of them in the set. And then I have Cheese from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. I would personally go with Wilt, but I do think Cheese would be more popular for an NFT set, so I'd go with him instead. And then I also have Eustace with his mask from Courage the Cowardly Dog. And then I would love to see a Kids Next Door pop, so I think it would be a great introduction to have one of them in the set. I'd go with number 1. And then for the royalty, I would do Freddy Funko as Samurai Jack or Aku. Now, making it to the halfway mark for set number 5, I actually have a Series 2. Series 1 may be my favorite Funko Pop NFT set they have done as a whole, with the Legendaries, the Grail, and the royalty all together. And it is Looney Tunes. So we have a Looney Tunes Series 2 on the list. And here's the redeemables I would go with. Elmer Fudd, Porky Pig, Penelope Pussycat, Barnyard Dog, Granny, and then the royalty, I would love Freddy Funko as Marvin the Martian. The next set is once again another Series 2. Series 1 was actually one of my all-time favorite sets that they have done thus far. Honestly, it was such a perfect set. Series 2 is actually part of the leaked list, and it is Scooby-Doo Series 2. I love Series 1, all those different villains that we've never seen in pop form before. I'm really hoping they do the exact same thing with Series 2. However, one of the pops on the list is not a villain. It is the Mystery Machine. I would love if they have the entire Scooby Gang in it. I think that would be the perfect pop ride to have as the very first pop ride from the NFTs. If anything though, I'd be more than happy if they at least have Fred inside it, but that would be one of the redeemables I would go with. Next up, I have the Black Knight. Then I have the Zombie, who actually has a card in Series 1, so I do think he'll be part of Series 2 for sure. Next, I have Miner 49er. Then I have the Tar Monster, And the royalty, I would go with Freddy Funko as a Phantom Shadow. This next series I have on my list, I think a lot of you would find exciting as well. But there's so much room for potential for this one. I think many sets could come from it. This year in October is going to be the 30th anniversary for this animation studio, and that is Dreamworks. I absolutely love Dreamworks. They've done so many great animated feature films, and honestly, it's kind of sad that they have not made pops for a lot of them. And even if they have made pops for any movies, there's so many characters that they can still do from those movies that they've done pops for. I wouldn't mind if they make like a set for one specific movie with multiple characters from that film, or a mix of different characters from Dreamworks movies. But either way, I think it would make a great series to see in the future. Here's what I came up with for my list. I have the wolf from Puss in Boots' Last Wish. And then I have King Julian from Madagascar, which I think is crazy. All we have from Madagascar are the penguins. I'd also love Lord Farquaad from Shrek. Then I have Jack Frost from Rise of the Guardians, one of my favorite Dreamworks films. I've always wanted a full set from that movie. I also have Tai Lung from Kung Fu Panda. And then finishing it off, of course, for the royalty, we have a Freddy Funko as the Moon Boy, where he's holding a fishing rod. I think that would make a perfect Freddy for a Dreamworks set, and especially if they made it glow in the dark. All right, so I feel like I'm definitely being a little too hopeful on this next one, but honestly, never say never. It is definitely possible. Funko does already have the rights to make these as Funko Pops. It's definitely a big license that a lot of people love, and I think it would be amazing to see these as Funko digital cards, because these already have trading cards, and that is Pokemon. Who does not love Pokemon? Honestly, there's so many Pokemon they could do. I would love if it started off with Gen 1 though, because there's still so many Gen 1 that they have not made, and they keep making other Gen as Funko Pops. So here's what I would go with as the very first series for Pokemon, if they ever did it. I would go with Gengar, Snorlax, Blastoise, Venusaur, Onyx, and then, of course, if they could get a royalty, Freddy Funko. Who wouldn't want one? Freddy Funko as Ash. So for Funko Pop digital drops, we've actually seen some Hanna-Barbera sets in the past. However, there's one specific show from Hanna-Barbera that I absolutely love, and we have not seen a redeemable for yet. I think it would make a great standalone set, just like they did for Flintstones. It would be Tom and Jerry. I love Tom and Jerry. I grew up watching it, and I still watch it to this day. And I think there's plenty of characters they can make as redeemables. So I think it would make a great standalone set. Here's what I have as a Tom and Jerry set. I would go with Spike with Tyke. And then I would go with Butch, Nibbles, Droopy, Uncle Pecos. And then the Freddy Funko, I feel like it would make most sense to have him as Tom, kind of like I did the Freddy Funko as Bugs Bunny. And pretty much the same style. I think it would be cool to have the crown around his ear. But overall, that would be my choices for Tom and Jerry. So for the 10th and final set I have on this list, it's definitely the easiest one for Funko to make. It requires no licensing, just their own character, Freddy Funko, which we've seen that many times in the past. We saw with Funko Ween Series 1, we saw with Funko Halloween Series 1, Series 2. April Fool's pretty much almost all Freddy's. Fantastic Plastic wasn't Freddy's except for the royalty, but that's all their own characters as well. So I would absolutely love a Christmas Freddy collection, because Christmas is my favorite holiday, and honestly I'm still surprised we have yet to get a Christmas Freddy set. So I think it would be great to see that this year. And if they don't have any ideas for redeemables, I would go with like Freddy as a snowman, Freddy as Santa Claus. We could also go with Freddy as a gingerbread. We could maybe have him like inside a Christmas tree or something. Maybe another one where he's all wrapped around Christmas lights and they can make the lights glow in the dark. I don't know. I'm trying to think of some other ones, but I think Funko could definitely come up with some really fun designs as a Christmas Freddy set, and I'm really hoping to see that this year. So that's all I have for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video as always. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for future content. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think of this video? I'd love to hear your thoughts on anything that I talked about. I'd also love to know what you guys would enjoy seeing in the future from Funko and Droppp as an NFT set. I just really want to say thank you guys so much for taking time to watch this video. I know it was a lot of talking and not so much of what I usually do, like unboxing, opening up NFT packs and all that stuff. So I really do appreciate your support and take time to watch this video. I do hope you guys did enjoy it. I'd love to know what you guys like to see in the next videos. Thank you all for watching, and peace.